Namaste, my name is Arun. Welcome to the class. This is a practice of yogasanas. I'll guide you through the breathing, I'll guide you through some postures. This is a class for all the levels, so just make your variations for the different postures. Let's begin. So to start with, I would like to guide you through some breathing because that's going to be the base for the entire practice. So I recommend every time that you are doing any posture, while you stay in the posture, in the asana, or you're transitioning from one asana to another asana, you try and move along with your breath. Let's try and synchronize how we move with how we breathe. So it becomes really important to have the breath as our guide. So as we begin in a comfortable seated posture, you can either have crossed legs or you can also sit on your shins. Now from the seated position, let's start to slowly bring the shoulders up towards the ears. We're going to start with some movements for the shoulders and the neck before we find a comfortable seated position. Yes, so the movements are very gentle, very slow. We are moving with the breath. So the shoulders roll back. So as you breathe in, we try and bring the shoulders closer to the ears and then roll them back. And as you breathe out, you bring the shoulders down. So find your rhythm as you inhale, shoulders to the ears, and try and roll them back as you try and touch the shoulder blades behind you and slide them down as you exhale. Let's do 3 more circles like this. We try and breathe in through the nose, we breathe out through the nose, and moving with the speed of your own breathing. Let's do this one more time. Big circle. And as you breathe out, let's try and keep the shoulders back and down. And a few circles with the head. Any direction that you want. You take the head to the side, chin to the chest, and take the head to the other side, and then you look up. And like this we move in these circular movement. And as you're moving, every time the chin comes down, you try and exhale. And every time you're looking up, you breathe in. 2 more circles in this direction. And from here we will change the circles, taking the other direction. So try and not rush through these movements. If there's any pain in the neck, be very gentle. Let's take 2 more circles. And now as you slow down with the last one, we'll bring ourselves back to the center. So as you come back to the center, try and find the length in the back of your neck. So you're trying to gently push the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and we try and keep the shoulders back and down. And as you do this, you also try and point the tailbone, the last part of your spine, you try and point it down towards the center of the earth. Now as you keep your spine in this best of the arrangement that you can, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. We inhale through the nose, a long inhale. And through the nose, we breathe out as you slowly empty the chest. And try to pull the navel in towards the spine as you push all the air out. Now as you breathe in, we breathe in towards the abdomen as you expand the belly just like a balloon, as much as you can. And then we fill up all the way till the chest. A full breath in. And again, as you watch your exhale, we breathe out through the nose, emptying the chest, and all the way to the abdomen. So we're trying to breathe full breaths, full inhale abdomen, through the ribs, all the way till the top. And as you breathe out, we empty the chest, Squeezing the ribs in and the abdomen. One more time, deep breath in, inhale. And a full breath out, exhale. Let's add a little bit of retention in the breathing. Breathing in abdomen, ribs, chest. Let's hold it for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, and you slowly breathing out. Exhale. Exhale. Completely empty as much as you can. Again, breathing in from the abdomen. Full inhale till the top. And now we hold the breath. Again, 3 counts. Stay relaxed. 1, 2, 3, and slowly exhale, chest, ribs, and abdomen. Let's do this one more time. Breathing in, abdomen, ribs, chest. Let's hold, Kumbhaka. Retain as effortlessly as you can. 2 more counts. 1, 2, and steady. Exhale all the way out. Empty everything. Again, breathing in through the nose. Rechaka, we breathe out. So go till the end of your exhale until you empty all the air. And now we hold very gently. Hold the breath. Do not breathe in. 2 counts more. 1, 2, and a steady breathing in. And steady breathing out. Reach the end of your exhale. And we hold Bahya Kumbhaka. 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. A steady breath in. And one more time, we exhale and hold. Breathing out everything. And we hold 3 counts only. 1, 2, 3. Steady. Inhale. And we exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths just like this. No retentions, just full breath. Breathe in through your nose. And we breathe out through the nose. One more time, without any rush. Slowly inhale. And exhale. So let's continue this breathing, and we try and keep this same rhythm with the breath. We try and keep a balance between how much we are breathing in and how much we are breathing out. We try and keep a rhythm like this. We regulate the breath. And this equal inhale and equal exhale, we call this the Samavritti Pranayama. And this balance in our breathing is trying to help us to find balance in our mind, in our thoughts. Everything starts to calm down. It finds a neutral space in the mind. And the same balance is reflected onto the physical self, where we are more comfortable, we are more grounded, we are more stable during the practice of the asanas. Okay? So let one part of your awareness always stay with the breath, while the other part is focusing on the body alignments and the transitions from asana to asana. Yes, now try not to lose this breath. This is part of the main practice. Equal inhale, equal exhale. Now as you keep at this, now slowly let's extend the hands forward towards the front of your mat, and you bring yourself onto the 4 points. So you can roll on top of your knees as you point your feet back, or find any comfortable way to bring yourself to the 4 points positions. So now looking from the side, I will try and align my hands exactly below my shoulders and my knees somewhere close to under my hips. And let's try and align the hands as wide as your shoulders and the knees are as wide as your hips. Now the fingers, you want to spread the fingers as wide as you can and allow the index fingers to point somewhere to the front. So the index fingers become parallel to one another and you're really spreading out those fingers. Now from here, very basic movement for the spine. The most basic movement for the spine is the rounding and the curving action, the cat and the cow. So let's start with this. As you roll the shoulders back first, we start to curve the spine. So you're opening the ribs towards the floor as you curve your tailbone to the sky, and also you look up. The chin is pointing up. And now as you point your tailbone down, tucking your pelvis in, you start your exhale and the rounding of the spine as you take the chin closer towards your chest. So as you inhale, you roll the shoulders back, curving the spine, curving the tail, curving the chin, looking up. And start from the tailbone, pointing down. As you take the pubic bone closer to your navel, you take the chin closer to your chest. Again, breathe in, roll the shoulders back, curving the complete spine. Maybe a little more, as much as you can. And as you breathe out, starting from the tail until the chin to the chest. Again, breathe in, roll the shoulders back first, curving a little more. And start from the pelvis, tucking in as you round. Let's do this 2 more times. Watch and observe the complete spine as you breathe in and breathe out. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. And as you come back to the neutral spine position, hands and knees position, let's make a counter stretch for the wrists. We place the top of the hand facing down. So we are trying to touch the wrist down to the floor. So once the wrist is grounded, it's safe. Now we spread the fingers out as wide as you can to activate the wrist. And if the wrist allows you, you will try and straighten the arm just a little bit more. And very gently, you try and push the wrist down. You're trying to put some weight on that wrist here. And let's take 2 deep breaths here. We breathe in through the nose, deep breath in. And we exhale. 1 more, deep inhale. And now as you breathe out, you will bend your arm and very gently you release your hand. Now we do the same with the other side. Top of the hand, allow the wrist to touch down, spread the fingers. If the wrist allows, you'll straighten the arm. If the wrist is hurting, please keep your elbow bent. And we take 2 deep breaths. 1. 2. And as you exhale, you bend your arm and you gently release your hand. Now from here, we place the fingertips, the soft part of your fingers. We point it down towards the floor and keep it a little forward from the line of your shoulders here, a little forward from you, so that you decide how much weight you want to place on those fingers. Now once the fingers are strong, the fingers are active, the wrists are well supported. This is option 1. Option 2, if you can also take a plank where the fingers, especially the ring finger, the little finger, try and press it down so that it can really support your weight. And let's take 2 more breaths here. 1 and 2. As you're breathing out, bring your knees down if they are up and take the weight back towards your knees before you release your hands. Now again, spreading the fingers. Now we try and keep the hands closer towards the front of the mat so that you have the space to extend your right leg all the way back. Now keep the toes tucking under your heel with your right leg, and we try and engage the muscles, all the muscles of the extended leg. Now try and push the heel slightly back towards the back edge of your mat. engaging the back of your leg here. And now as you engage your kneecap, you're also engaging your thigh. The right thigh is active. And as you do that, you'll try and tuck your pelvis in towards the navel. A little tucking, rounding action with your lower spine. And keep the activation with your pelvic floor, with your abdomen. And make sure you're trying to push the shoulder blades away from one another here. Now, keeping all this activation, let's lift the right leg to the level of your hip. And we try and keep sending the heel back. Kick the heel back as much as you can, engaging the leg. And with your next breath in, we try and extend the left arm. So it's opposite leg and opposite arm. They are reaching out in opposite directions. So you're growing taller. The heel is kicking back and the hand is extending forward here. Now take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you will point the right foot behind you as much as you can. Point the foot. And as you inhale, you flex the ankle. And as you exhale, you point the foot. Breathe in as you flex your foot. Exhale as you point. Inhale as you flex. Exhale, you point. Let's do this one more time. Again, carefully inhale as you flex the foot. And exhale, you point it as much as you can. Now take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we bring the left hand down, we bring the right knee back to its place. Find your base. You can switch your weight from side to side to shuffle just a little bit, and coming back to the center. Let's extend the left leg back. We start off by keeping the toes on the mat. Kick the heel back, engage your thigh, tuck your pelvis in, and separating those shoulder blades. Keeping all this activation. When you're ready, breathe in and lift the left leg. Keep kicking the heel back, engaging that leg. With your next breath in, the right arm extends all the way forward. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, you point the left foot behind you. Inhale as you flex. Exhale, you point. Breathe in, you flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Let's do this one more time. Inhale as you flex your ankle. And exhale, point it as much as you can. Now keeping the foot pointed, take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, right hand comes down and the left knee back to its place. Now from here, for a few breaths, let's take Adho Mukha Virasana. We bring the knees as wide as the mat. And we touch the big toes together behind. As you point your feet, you touch the big toes together. Now let's roll the shoulders back as you curve the spine and looking up towards the sky. And from here, as you exhale, we sit all the way back. So as much as your knees allow, you take your sitting bones all the way back to the heels. And as you keep the hips back there, you will extend your hands forward. So with your hands actively pulling you to the front, you will try to lengthen your spine. So it's a pretty active posture, Adho Mukha Virasana. The fingers are trying to pull you to the front. And at the same time, the sitting bones are trying to reach further back, lengthening the length of your spine. Okay, let's take 3 breaths here. You can also rest your forehead down on the mat as you do this. Please take one more deep inhale. And we breathe out, exhale. Now let's lift the gaze as you slowly bring yourself up to the hands and knees. Tabletop position one more time. And now from here, one by one, we are going to extend both our legs back as you bring yourself to a plank position. So take a very strong plank where you keep the feet as wide as your hips and engaging the legs like before. We are pushing the heels back. We are engaging the kneecaps. The thighs are active. the pelvic floor is active. Very subtle activation of the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. And we gently tuck the pelvis in, pubic bone to navel. And now as you do this, you also try and roll the shoulders back as you send the chest forward towards the front edge of the mat. And let your gaze be somewhere on the floor, a little forward from the front edge of your mat. And we will take 3 deep breaths, keeping all the activation that we spoke about. The legs are active, the pelvic floor is active, the abdomen is active, and the fingers, especially the fingers, push them down, please. Let's take 1 more deep inhale. And now as you exhale, we take the hips all the way up towards the sky. Now try not to move your hands and not to move your feet. The ideal distance of the hands and feet in the downward dog is the same distance that you keep in a high plank position. So from the high plank to the downward dog, the hands and feet try and remain in the same distance. It's okay if you want to shuffle once in a while, but try and stick to this to the best of your ability, please. Now from here, let's take a deep breath in as you lift your heels up towards the sky. So you push the floor, push the mat with the toes, lifting the heels up, and as you exhale, you take them down closer to the floor, as close as they can go. Again, inhale as you lift your heels up. Exhale as you push the heels down. Again, breathe in, heels up. Exhale, again, bring the heels all the way down. This time, let's bring the heels up. As you bring the heels up, you keep them up in the air. And this time, you slightly bend your knees as you take your chest closer towards your thighs if you can. And here, let's take 1 more deep breath in. Now, without moving the chest away, exhale as you push the heels all the way down to the floor. And here we take deep, long inhale and exhale completely. From here, looking forward, inhale to a high plank again. And now from the high plank, first we bring the knees down on the mat. And as you bend your elbows very close to your ribs, you bring the chest and the chin to touch the floor. So you're trying to place the chest exactly between your hands as you spread the fingers and hugging your ribs with your elbows. And the chin wants to point forward. Now this posture is called Ashtanga Namaskara or Ashtangasana. 8 points of contact with the floor. Let's take 1 more deep inhale. And now as you breathe out, we point our feet back. We slide the legs back as you push the pelvis down to the floor. So the legs are super strong here. The top of the feet are pressing down. The pubic bone is gently pushing down as you engage your glutes slightly and your lower back. Roll the shoulders back as you come up to Bhujangasana. So the shoulders are down and away from the ears as you look up, and exhale as you go down. Again, inhale, roll the shoulders back as you come up. Breathing out, you go all the way down. One last time. First, you roll the shoulders back. Keep pointing the feet back, breathing in through to Bhujangasana. And from here, let's lift the hips, tuck your toes under the heels, and then you lift your knees up as you take the Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Let's take 1 more deep breath in here and exhale completely. Now from here, we lift the heels, bend the knees as you look to the front towards your hands. Now let's walk the feet forward, or you can take 1 big step as you keep the feet as wide as your hips. And we slightly bend our knees so that you can release the stress from your lower back. And try and relax the complete spine all the way till the neck. So you try and allow the head to hang gently.
Allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the arms, your hands to relax. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, you let go of all the weight that you carry. Now keep relaxing your neck. Keep rounding your spine. Slightly bend your knees now as you start to roll up, pointing the tailbone down to the floor, from the lower back, through the mid back, lifting up one vertebra at a time. You slowly bring yourself up to a standing position. Now once you come up to the standing, the head is the last thing that comes up. And from here, let's roll the right arm up, back, and down. And then the left arm goes up, back, and down. Now here, let's bring the feet together. As you bring the feet together, well, there are different schools of yoga, and they have different disciplines, they have different ways, methods of practicing. These are the alignments that I have learned from my teachers in my own practice. So feel free to make variations and adjustments if you need to. So try and keep the big toes together, and we keep a little separation between the heels here. And spread the toes out, just like the fingers that we did before. Spread the toes out, hold the mat with the soles of your feet. That helps us to activate the ankles, knees. Now feel your legs. The tailbone is slightly pointing down. The shoulders are up, back, and down. Let's bring the hands together. We close our eyes for just a breath. Try and connect with your complete presence here. Let your mind be here where the body is. Let's take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, you release your hands, arms by the sides, length in the back of your neck. Surya Namaskara, sun salutations. Ekam, as you breathe in, let's join the hands over the head as you try and lengthen, looking up to your thumbs. And as you exhale, we fold. Uttanasana, we bring the hands towards the mat. You can bend your knees if you need to. And see if you can bring the head closer towards your legs here. And as you inhale, you start to lift your gaze. You can also push the floor away with the fingertips. You can place the hands on your shins, looking forward if you need to. And then as you exhale, hands on the mat. As you walk or you step, both the feet back to high plank. Now for the first one, let's take Ashtanga Namaskara. As you bring the knees, chest, and chin down, breathe out completely here. And as you inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana, point your feet back, open chest, roll the shoulders back and down. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Okay, let's take 3 breaths here as you try and spread the fingers and try and press the base of your index finger all the way down to the mat. And if you can, you take the gaze towards your belly button, looking towards your navel, or you can also look towards your feet, between the feet on the mat. Take one more deep inhale. And we breathe out, exhale. Now as you lift your heels, bend your knees looking forward, you either walk or you take one big step. Right foot, then the left foot looking forward, inhale. And breathe out again, Uttanasana, head all the way down. Now push the floor away with the feet as you come up. Urdhva Hastasana, we join the hands over the head, looking up to the thumbs. Exhale, Samasthitihi, arms by the sides. Again, Ekam, inhale as you join the hands over the head. Dve, exhale as you fold all the way down, head to the legs. Trini, inhale as you look forward, lengthening your spine, arms and legs. And as you exhale, you can step, walk, or you can also jump the feet back to high plank and to low plank. You can always bring the knees down if you cannot take Chaturanga. Inhale as you point your feet back, open the chest. You're looking up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, we lift the hips up to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now find a gaze that you can look at and try and lock your gaze so that you're not looking at so many objects behind you. Try and keep one pointed focus As we take 2 more breaths, please. 1. And 2. Exhale here completely. Now lift your heels, bend your knees, looking forward, preparing to step, walk, or you can also jump the feet to the front, inhaling. And as you breathe out, you bring the head all the way down. Nava, inhale, coming all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samasthiti, arms by the sides. Let's do this one last time. Ekam, inhale. Dve, exhale. Trini, inhale, looking forward. Chatvari, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Panch, Urdhva Mukha. Shat, Adho Mukha. Let's breathe in and out through the nose. One. 2. And we breathe out, exhale. Looking forward, Sapta, breathe in, step, walk or jump. Ashtau, exhale as you bring the head down. Nava, inhale as you come up, joining the hands over the head. And as you breathe out, we come back to the standing position. Samasthiti. Let's do the sun salutation B. Now as you bend your knees, see if you can touch the floor with the fingertips. And inhale as you join the hands over the head. Chair posture, Utkatasana. And as you exhale, we fold all the way down, head down towards the legs. Trini. Looking forward, you breathe in. Chatvari, step, walk or jump. Chaturanga, low plank. Pancha. Inhale to up dog. Open the chest looking up. Exhale to the downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here we prepare for the warrior one as you step the right foot forward. And we try and bring the back heel down if you can. As you breathe in, we come up to join the hands over the head, looking to your thumbs. And with your exhale, you go all the way down again to the low plank position, Chaturanga. Nava, inhale. Dasha, exhale. Left side warrior. Left foot is forward, back heel is down. Inhale as you come all the way up to warrior one. Dvadasha, Chaturanga. Low plank position. Trayodasha, inhale. Chaturdasha, we breathe out. Again, 3 breaths, please. 1. 2. And we breathe out. Looking forward, Panchadasha, breathing in. Shodasha, exhale, head down. Let's bend the knees. Inhale as you take a chair posture again, Utkatasana. Exhale to standing, Samasthiti. Let's do this one last time. Ekam, breathing in. Dve, exhale. Trini, look forward, breathe in. Chatvari, low plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Pancha, inhale to up dog. Shat, exhale to the downward dog. Right foot steps forward, back heel is down. Sapta, inhale, coming up, warrior one. Ashtau, exhale, same exhale all the way down till Chaturanga. Nava, inhale. Dasha, exhale. Left side, Ekadasha, inhale, coming up. And then use your exhale as you go down to the low plank, Chaturanga. Trayodasha. Chaturdasha. And we breathe. 1, 2. And we exhale. Looking forward, inhale, step, walk or jump. And then exhale as you bring the head down. Utkatasana, let's bend the knees again. Inhale, coming up, chair posture. Exhale to standing, Samasthiti. Now let's keep the feet as wide as your hips. Let's keep the hands on the waist as you roll the shoulders back. Inhale. And as you breathe out, we fold. Now using the 2 fingers, index and the middle finger, we will hold the big toes. So you wrap the 2 fingers to the big toes, catching the big toes, you look forward. Inhale. Padangushtasana. Exhale as you fold. Now we try and stay here. You can always bend your knees if you need to. Now remember, the point of any posture is for you to be able to breathe in it. So if you're comfortable to breathe, the body will slowly accommodate itself. So try and observe the length, how much you're breathing in, and try and match the same length with your exhale. And observe if there's any tension in the shoulders, you try and relax it. One more, deep inhale. And let's breathe out, exhale. Now keep holding the big toes, lift your gaze, look forward, inhale. And as you breathe out, we will slide the hands underneath the feet. It can also be the fingers under your toes. And using that next exhale, you fold again, closer. So remember not to lift the heels from here. Try and keep pushing the heels down as you send the sitting bones higher to the sky. So you're trying to open the back of your legs. You're trying to breathe into the back of the legs. We take 2 more breaths here. Uno. Dos. Exhale completely. Now as you look forward, you inhale. Now stay here as you breathe out. Let's bring the hands to our waist. Now as you breathe in, you push the floor with the feet as you come all the way up to standing. Now we release the hands, we keep the arms by our sides, and we keep the feet in the distance that they were, as wide as your hips here. Let's again roll the shoulders back and down. And you find your stance. The toes are pressing the floor. You're finding the length in your legs. Now as you breathe in, let's bring the arms all the way up. You lengthen as much as you can. And as you exhale, we fold all the way down again. Uttanasana. Looking forward, you inhale. Now let us step the right foot all the way back. As you bring yourself to this runner's position. So in the runner's position, I will try to keep the ankle, the heel exactly under my knee. Try and find this 90 angle with your knee, please. Now the back heel, we try and bring it down. So you're trying to align both the heels in the same line. Now as you do this, left hand on the inside of your left foot. You can also use a block under your hand if you need support. And then let's bring the right hand on your right hip. Let's roll the right shoulder back. So you're trying to open the chest to the sky. And as you look up, we try and extend the right arm towards the ceiling. And as you do this, you're trying to align the right hand on top of that left hand. And the pelvis, you're trying to push it just a little bit more forward towards the right edge of your mat so that you open more the front of the body. Let's take 2 more breaths as you look up towards your hand. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. One more. Deep breath in. And now as you exhale, you look down towards the floor. Now push the floor with the left foot as you come up, transitioning to Virabhadrasana B, the warrior 2. Now as you try and settle into this posture, remember the front knee. Make sure that it's not falling in. It's trying to make a slight external rotation, the front leg. and the arms are extending out in two opposite directions. Now try and scan your spine. The last part of your spine, the tailbone, is trying to point down towards the earth. Now from the tail till the crown, you try and lengthen your spine. And we take 2 more breaths here. Now try and stay relaxed in your face. We take 1 more deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, we bring the back hand on your back hip and we straighten the front leg and reach that left hand as high as you can. Inhale. And as you breathe out, you reach forward, and then as you reach down, you place your hand on your ankle or maybe your shin. You can also use a block. If you're using a block, you can keep it on the inside of the leg or the outside if you prefer. Now let's roll the right shoulder back and extend that right arm. Trikonasana, the triangle posture. Also here we are trying to gently push the pelvis forward as you bring the torso back to the line of your left leg. 2 more breaths, please. 1, 2. Now as you exhale, you look down towards the floor and you will slightly bend your left knee. And then you'll come up to warrior 2 one more time. Inhale as you come up and exhale as you stay. Now here we open the front palm, facing it up towards the sky. And as you inhale, you reverse the warrior. The back hand rests on the back leg and the left arm trying to extend, reaching all the way up. And we keep the front knee still in its position here. Take 1 more deep breath in. And now as you exhale, looking down towards your left foot, now we place the left hand outside of your left foot. You can use the fingertips or a block again. Right arm reaching up to the sky. Now as you create a slight external rotation with the right shoulder, exhale as you extend the right arm all the way forward. Here the chest is trying to look up towards the sky, and your gaze, if you can, you look towards the right hand. Now from the little toe of the right foot till the little finger of your right hand, you're trying to draw 1 straight line. 2 more breaths. 1. And you exhale here completely. Now from here, as you inhale, you windmill the right arm up, back, and down to the floor again. Now let's lift that back heel up. So the back foot is on the toes now. Now pushing the floor with the right hand under your right shoulder. Inhale as you take your left arm reaching up to the sky. So we create a little twist in this. It's a gentle variation of Parivritta Parshvakonasana. We keep the right leg active and gently pull the left knee towards your chest. 1 more deep inhale. And now as you exhale, we look down as you bring that left hand down to the floor. Now with that back foot giving you the push, we bring our weight forward here so that you can align your hands under your shoulders. Now this leg that is in the air, now we're going to flex the ankle and you want to kick the right heel back. Now once you kick the right heel back, start to shift the weight towards your left hand, and let's bring the right hand to the right hip. And as you do this, you're trying to open the hip towards the sky. So you're trying to stack the right hip on top of the left hip here and keep kicking the right heel all the way back. And you can also extend the right arm all the way towards the sky. So if you're looking down towards the floor, there's more stability. More challenging if you look towards your right hand. Let's take 3 breaths here. Ardha Chandrasana. 1, 2. And now as you exhale, you look down towards the floor. Now from here, as you carefully bring the right hand down, we will close the hip. Now allow the navel to look down towards the floor. And now as you point the foot that's behind you, as you point the foot, we hold the left leg with the left hand as you pull yourself closer towards that left leg as you make a standing split here for 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and exhale completely. Now as you look towards the floor, slightly bend your left knee as you go back to your runner's posture. Again, take a couple of breaths here, align your knee on top of your ankle, and now from here we will try to make an attempt to jump onto our hands. So remember, the hands are your firm support. So spread the fingers and we will slide the left foot to the center of your mat. So the left foot is going to be exactly below your left hip here. Now the leg that is behind, you're going to throw it up into the air and push the floor with that left foot as you make small jumps. Now this is option 1. First you exhale completely, and as you breathe in, it's just a half breath, not the full breath, half breath and a tiny little jump, and exhale down. Breathing in, you go up, exhale, you come down. So depending on how much you're practicing the handstands, you can also jump a little higher, and as you exhale, you come down. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhale, coming up, exhale, coming down. You can also stay in the handstands if you have been practicing for 2 more breaths. 1, 2. Now from here, let's take a high plank to Chaturanga variation. Exhale as you take a Chaturanga low plank. As you inhale, you take an up dog. Here, open the chest as you look up. And again, breathing out, we take the downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's take 2 breaths here. And we're going to repeat the same thing the other side. With your next inhale, we lift the right leg as high as you can. And as you breathe out, we place the right foot forward between the hands. Find your runner's position. Knee on top of your ankle, and now we bring the back heel down, aligning both the heels in the same line, and we bring the right hand on the inside of the foot. So remember to use a block if you need. Left hand on your left hip. Roll the left shoulder back, opening the chest to the sky. And as you inhale, we extend the left arm all the way up. Now find your breathing, please. Find your breathing. Gently push your pelvis more to the front towards the left edge of the mat. 1. 2. As you exhale, you look down towards the floor, and with the next breath in, you take Warrior 2. Inhale. As you come up, exhale, you stay. 3 deep breaths. 1. 2. And now as we breathe out, the back hand on the back hip, we straighten the front leg. Inhale, touch the ceiling with your right hand. And as you breathe out, you reach forward and down as you prepare for Trikonasana, triangle posture. Let's roll the left shoulder back, opening the chest. And as you inhale, we extend the left arm all the way up to the sky. 1, 2. And now as you exhale, you look down towards the floor. Now as you bend the right knee in the line of your toes, you come up to Warrior 2. Inhale, Virabhadrasana B. Exhale, we stay. We open the front palm facing up. Inhale as you reverse the Warrior for 2 breaths. You're trying to extend the right arm, creating space between your ribs. 1 more deep breath in. Parshva Konasana. Exhale, right hand outside the right foot. Inhale, the left arm going up, and exhale, the left arm over the head to the front. keep lengthening the left leg and the left arm in the same line. One more breath in, and we breathe out. Now windmill that left arm up, back, and down. Now both the hands are on the mat. You lift the back heel. Now from here, left hand pushes the floor as the right hand goes up. Parivritta Parshvakonasana. Right knee gently pulling into the chest, and we keep the left thigh active. One more inhale. And as you breathe out, you look down, you bring the hand down. Now from here, push yourself forward with that back foot. As you bring your hands first under your shoulders. Now flexing that ankle as you kick that left heel back. Now shift the weight towards your right hand to the left hip. Now we stack the left hip on top of the right hip. Ardha Chandrasana, you take the same variation that you did on the other side. So kicking that left heel back is helping you to shift the weight from the right leg towards the left leg. And this brings you a little more balance here. Now choose your gaze. Either you're looking down to the floor, or you can also try and look towards your left hand for 2 more breaths. 1, 2. Now as you exhale, looking down, we will slowly and carefully bring that left hand down. Now square the hip with the floor, please. The navel is looking down, both the hips are in the same level. Now point the left foot behind you. Inhale. And with the exhale, we take the standing split. With that right hand, gently pull yourself closer and closer towards your right leg as we take 2 deep breaths. 1, 2. Now as you look down towards the floor, slightly bend your right knee, and from here you will take the runner's posture 1 more time. Now preparing for those jumps onto the hands, spread the fingers, and now we slide the right foot towards the center of the mat. Here first you breathe out, you empty everything, exhale. Now just half breath, remember it's not the full breath, and it's a very gentle push. Inhale as you come up. Exhale down. 5 attempts. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Last one. And from here we take Chaturanga. Exhale, going all the way down. Now from here, inhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here, let's take 1 more deep breath in. And we breathe out, exhale. Now for Raja Kapotasana, the pigeon posture, the king pigeon. Inhale as you lift your right leg as high as you can. And as you breathe out, let's bring the right leg forward for pigeon. Now in the pigeon, we are trying to bring the right knee behind the right wrist, and we bring that left knee down. Now from here, try not to sit on any of the sides. Try and stay in the center. And with the top of the back foot, you'll try and walk a little further back with that left leg. Now imagine the knees, both the knees, they're trying to drive towards one another. So that gives you the lift and the support to stay in your center. Now the back leg needs to be really active here. Let's place the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the right foot. If you're new to this posture, keep the right foot closer towards the center rather than sending it out towards the side. And you can always keep a block under your right sitting bone for more support. One more inhale as you look up, opening the chest. And now as you exhale, let's place the hands on the mat in the front. Now either you keep your forearms on a support like a block or a cushion if you need, or if you reach, you can bring the forearms all the way down to the mat. You can maybe stay here a couple of breaths. If your body feels more open, you can always extend your arms more to the front. Now remember to keep the back leg active, and here we are trying to slow down the breathing. So as you are slowing down the breathing, you want to also lengthen the breaths that you breathe. So every inhale that you take, you're trying to send the breath all the way down that left leg towards your left foot. And as you breathe out, you want to empty all the air out. Now, as you observe the tight spaces in the body where you feel really tight in this posture, try to breathe in to those places. And this posture is really more about how much you can settle in, how much you can surrender, how much you can ease in with your own breath. Let's stay for 3 more breaths here. 1. 2. And here we breathe out, completely exhale. Now with your next breath in, without any rush, you'll first lift the gaze. Now you'll push the floor away with your hands. And let's bring again the right hand on the right knee, left hand on your right foot. And let's open again the chest as you're looking up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, look down to the mat and the hands on the mat. Now let's tuck the toes of the back foot under the heel and lift the back knee. Now carefully, slowly, let's take the right leg all the way back as you find your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Now in this, as we make a counter stretch for the right leg, we will try and push the right heel down to the floor as you slightly bend your left knee. So as you gently bend your left knee, we push the right heel down and you take your chest a little closer towards your thighs perhaps. Let's take one more inhale. And now as you breathe out, let's take a neutral downward dog position, pushing both the heels down to the floor. Now preparing for the same posture on the other side. Inhale as you lift your left leg as high as you can. And as you breathe out, we place the left leg forward for pigeon. Left knee behind the left wrist as you bring the back knee down. And slowly, without any exaggerations, we try and walk the back foot a little further back. The top of the back foot is pressing down very strongly. Right hand, left foot, left hand, left knee. Roll the shoulders back, opening the chest. You look up for a couple of breaths. And as you breathe out, looking down to the floor, option 1, you can place the hands. Option 2, you can place your forearms. And if your body allows, maybe not this breath, maybe not the second breath, maybe the breath after, we slowly bring ourselves all the way down. Again, find your breathing, please. We want to take those deeper, longer, and stable breaths. You're breathing in, long inhale that reaches all the way down towards your right foot. And a long exhale as you empty all the air that you just took in. And we stay for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, free. Try and find some stillness as much as you can. Let's take one more deep inhale. And we breathe out, exhale. Now as you lift your gaze, push the floor away with your hands as you come up again. Inhale as you come up. Let's place the left hand on the left knee, right hand on the left foot. As you open the front of the body again, you look up for a couple of breaths. And as you exhale, we place the hands down. Firm hands on the mat. We tuck the toes of the back foot under the heel. As you lift the back knee, inhale. As you go back to the downward dog, and again the counter stretch, we slightly bend the right knee and push the left heel down to the floor, chest going closer towards your knees. Please take a couple of breaths here. Exhale as you take the neutral downward dog posture where you're pushing both the heels down to the floor. Let's take one more deep inhale. And we exhale. Now as you lift your heels, bend your knees, you look to the front. Now from here, let's cross the legs as we sit down. Okay. Now from here, let's come to a lying down posture. We're going to start down the winding down of our pace in the practice so that we go to the closing sequence for today. So as you find a lying down posture, allow the back of your head to be on the mat. Yes, as you keep the back of the head down, you're trying to also stick the back of the neck closer to the floor. And from here, let's bring both the knees to the chest. As you bring the knees to the chest, try and keep sticking the lower back, the mid back, the back of your neck, all the way till the back of your head to the floor. And now here we bring the feet up into the air. So Ananda Balasana, where we are catching the feet with our hands, and the feet are about your shoulder width apart. And keeping your knees bent without straightening your legs, try to pull the feet with your hands. So imagine you're trying to take your shoulder blades closer to the mat. So that creates a pulling action. The hands pull the feet, and with the same exact strength, you try and push the feet against your hands without straightening your legs. Hands are pulling, the feet are pushing, and use these two forces to take your tailbone closer to the floor. So you're trying to stick the entire length of your back to the floor. You know, in some cases, for some people, this can create some pain in the mid back. So do respect the physical limits, and as much as you can, you try and take the sacrum closer to the floor. And we take 3 more breaths. The hands are pulling, the feet are pushing. 2 more breaths, please. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. 1 more deep breath in. And now as you exhale, you'll slowly release your feet and you hug the knees to chest. 1 more time. And with your next exhale, as you release your feet, let's place the feet now on the mat, as wide as your mat. So now the feet are as wide as the mat, and let's bring the arms in L shape by your sides. They also call it the cactus shape. Or take any other form, keeping it super relaxed. Let the shoulders relax, your arms are falling back, hands are falling back. Now let's take a deep inhale here. And now as you breathe out, drop your knees towards your left side. Let both the knees fall towards the left side. So you're not moving your feet, the feet are still as wide as your mat, and you drop the knees down. So remember, now this is a very passive posture. You're allowing the knees to fall to the floor. You're not pushing them down. So allow the hips to relax, allow your abdomen to relax, and you look towards the opposite direction. And we stay here for just a few breaths. Try to relax your abdomen, and you want to breathe towards your belly as you inhale. And as you breathe out, you try and let go the body a little more looser. And we take 3 more breaths here. Just try to surrender your body as much as you can. A very passive posture. We're trying to prepare for the last part of the practice here. Okay, let's take 1 more deep inhale. And we breathe out, exhale. Now with the next breath in, we will start to bring the knees up again. And now without moving the feet from its position, let's draw both the knees towards the other side. And this time you look over your left shoulder towards the other side. Slow down your breathing and deepen your breath. So here we are focusing more on the abdominal breaths. You want to breathe towards your abdomen. Three more breaths, please. Let's take 1 more inhale and exhale. With the next breath in, we bring the knees up again. And let's bring the knees to the chest one last time. And from here, let's start to release our legs. Now we take the last posture for today's practice. So as we come to the last posture, we try to extend the legs and keep the legs a little wider than your hips. And as you do that, you try and point, or rather allow the feet to fall outwards, and we keep the palms open, facing up towards the sky for the easy flow of prana. And now find a natural position for your shoulders, for your neck, for your head, and also for your hips. Respecting the natural curves of your spine, you start to allow the body to rest in the alignment into which you want to realign yourself. Now I'll guide you through the resting position, and then feel free to take your Shavasana for at least 10 minutes. Slowly, as you let go of your physical body, as you start to surrender all the muscles of your arms, of your legs, you start to let go of your fingers, your toes, and allow all the muscles in the body to relax. You start to relax your abdomen as you slow down your breathing. And allow every inhale to reach all the way down towards your navel. And without forcing your exhales, allow them to be a natural exhale as long as they can be. And with every exhale, you surrender your body just a little bit more. You're trying to relax your shoulders, you're relaxing your neck as you allow the head to fall back. And let all the muscles of your face relax. Relaxing your eyes. Relaxing also the space between your eyes. And as you bring your attention towards your breathing, let it be a slow, long, deep, and unforced breath. And we stay here for 7 to 10 minutes. slowly, we start to bring ourselves back. As you find your breathing, you start to take a few deeper and longer breaths. A deeper breath in towards your abdomen and towards your chest. And a longer exhale. Now slowly find your fingers, you find your toes, and perhaps you make some gentle movements with them as you feel your arms, your legs, and see how the body feels, how it wants to move. Maybe you can move your hands, your feet, just to bring some more activation in your body. And if your body feels like stretching, you can perhaps extend your arms over your head. You can stretch your arms, your legs, the way that your body asks for at this moment. Remember, all gentle movements. And see if you can bend your knees and bring the knees towards your chest here. To the chest. And you can hold your shins as you pull them closer gently. And as you place the weight on the spine here, you can maybe rock side to side as you massage your back. And from here you can roll over towards your right side as you bring yourself up to a seated position. And as you bring yourself to a seated position, take any comfortable seated arrangement for yourself. And also I recommend to keep your eyes closed for just a moment here, so that you're not chasing anything with your eyes right away. And try not to chase any thoughts either. Just take a moment to be with yourself, collect yourself. And take a moment to observe, notice your breathing, how your body feels. If there's any difference from before. No, we all practice for different reasons. Whatever that reason is that drives you, that takes you on the path of yoga, think of that moment, think of that aspect that you're working with within yourself. And as we come to the closing of today's practice, we close with gratitude. We bring our hands together. Namaskara Mudra. And in your own way, close the practice for yourself. As we offer this practice to our intention, to the self-work that we do for ourselves or for someone else, you can offer this practice to a collective cause, for the cause that you believe in. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope to see you for the next class. Namaste.